All right, we're live. Welcome to the Dom Skiing Channel, your one-stop shop for the Mariners storylines on Seattle's Minds. Just figured I'd do a quick pregame on the live stream tonight. It's just as easy as doing the YouTube short, and the YouTube shorts have not really been doing it recently. I've not been getting that many views, so why not just live stream? I figure it's better anyway. I can show you guys stuff, put it up on the screen. I decided to cook a little thumbnail up for the chat here. So here's what we got right here, right? Pregame 123, fight back in the AL West. Need 1, 2, 3 in a row. Making a little play on words as we always do, because bad puns are how we survive the slog. What sometimes feels like a slog of 162 games. In any way, shape, or form. Brock Rodden making his MLB debut today. I didn't know that he was a Wichita State product. He's from Durant, Oklahoma. I had a friend who was in Oklahoma this week. So, infielder, pick 160 in the draft in 2023. Wichita State did have kind of a interesting program the last couple of years. I know they made it to the College World Series and stuff. I know they're a good baseball school. So interesting that Brock Rodden was part of a good culture there, I believe. And he's batting ninth tonight. The expectations for him, going to get into that a little bit. Make sure you drop a like on the stream if you're here with us. Going 1-0 today because, I've been sick. The Mariners have, played plenty poor in the last couple weeks, but we're getting right back to it. So, drop a thumbs up. We're going to get into it. Going to predict this game a little bit. I've only got 12 minutes and 18 seconds until first pitch scheduled. 5:10 in Houston, Daikin Park, which I always forget what Daikin actually does. All right, now we've actually got our StatCast game preview up. So the thing that I want to show you guys, first of all, when I said Weston Wilson's fast, look at this. It's, Julio, fastest guy on the team. No surprise there, right? 28.8 feet per second. Victor Robles, 28.6. Cole Young, 28. His third, you probably wouldn't expect that. Maybe he would be at third, but then you start looking at the other guys that are on the roster, and you're like, actually, that makes sense. And then Weston Wilson is fourth in sprint speed on the roster right now. Taylor Ward being, fifth, and Leo Rivas sixth. Randy, you'd expect that Randy is lower than this, right? Or is higher. You expect that Randy's higher than this, right? In terms of sprint speed. It's a lot easier to look at doing that. So, you'd expect Randy to be a little higher than this on sprint speed for the team. But that just shows that he hustles, right? It's the fact that he hustles. He doesn't have the fastest overall top sprint speed, but he hustles. You can see that he's hustling all the time. And there's one foul ball here and there, right? In Tampa Bay, whatever. Overall, though, like Randy, his intention to hustle, I don't think there's anything to question there. Then Canzone, Donovan, Raleigh, Naylor, Pareda. So Pareda actually lower than Naylor, Vasquez. So Naylor is not actually the slowest guy in the MLB anymore. When you do the Astros, though, by sprint speed, Christian Vasquez is slower than Naylor. That's good to know. Something we don't usually look at how faster guys this year by the metrics that we have. Julio, then Cam Smith. I'm going to say this game, we talk a lot about small ball. I'm going to say that this is this has actually kind of a pretty good rating of how valuable players could be. Like Julio, I think, could be the most important player in the series. I think Cole Young, Weston Wilson are two really, really important players right now for the team. The fact that, you don't get Weston Wilson in the lineup against righties, it's kind of annoying. The Mariners facing off against Peter Lambert, who actually has been interesting. And really going 1-0, we should be looking at him more today. I shouldn't be doing too much with our guys. We know that our guys, really it's more about Peter Lambert and how this lineup attacks Peter Lambert. So let's go look at him. Being a right-handed pitcher, obviously get more lefties in the lineup. So the Mariners have, what is it? Righty. So Victor Robles getting the start in center field and Julio DHing. Interesting there. Maybe that has something to do with Houston having a weird center field. Not sure. exactly what that is. Julio's also leading off. So trying something different out. Victor Robles hitting second. Oh no, geez, I had sorted by sprint speed, so tricked myself into thinking that was the batting order for a second. Stuff like that happens sometimes. But yeah, Victor Robles is in the order. He's hitting eighth. Julio is DHing. Yeah, he's in his cleanup spot. Cole Young leading off. Randy second. Canzone third. Julio fourth. Naylor fifth. Donovan sixth. Rowley seventh. Robles eighth. Rodden ninth. So the Rodden has to be the pest tonight. What I'm looking for from you, let's work from the ground up, because that seems like it's going to be easy. Okay, Rodden, you need to be the pest. You need to be aiming for like 7-8 pitches in at bat. Get the full count every single time. Yeah, and I mean, don't put, aim to not put things in play if you're Brock Rodden. Aim to get the longer at bats and see where you can get with the longer at bats before you, worry about putting stuff in play. He's a guy. There was just a video that the Mariners on Twitter put out of Logan Gilbert and him walking into the game. Yeah, look at this. Just to show you what type of athlete, right? We know how tall Logan Gilbert is. Brock Rodden is not a tall guy. This is a second baseman. This is a low drafted second baseman that played for a great college program, which says like, okay, why wasn't he a prospect? It looks like he was, it's because it was short. Now he looks pretty athletic, right? Getting to see him without all the gear on and stuff. But he is pretty short, so he's going to be shrinking the strike zone. That's going to be key for him tonight. Being the smaller guy. Peter Lambert, not the biggest pitcher at 6'2", 208, but a guy who, he doesn't get it down the mound with a ton of extension, getting over to Peter Lambert. But he has that changeup, and the changeup is a pitch the Mariners have struggled with so much this year. If that thing falls off a cliff, you do have to be able to take it when it gets low out of the zone. But if it's on the edges and stuff, foul that thing off, please. Just keep your bat in the zone, right? Don't be trying to hit the thing too hard. Don't get out in front of it. Don't get too far behind it. Keep your bat in the zone. Like really work to foul these things off. The changeup, that's the thing that I'll be worried about. The fastball, I think the Mariners can get on the fastball tonight if they can hit the changeup. You got the slider and the cutter. This is one of these three fastball approach guys. I've been talking about this the entire year, that one of the biggest things this year in baseball is spin efficiency and the fastball. It's telling you who a pitcher actually is. At least this, for me, like what I've learned about. Maybe everybody else knew about this before and I'm just late to the party. Or maybe you didn't know about this too, and you definitely want to learn about it in that case. Four-seam fastball, you get that rise upwards. So that here's his four-seam fastball shape, right? He's got, it looks like about 18 inches of vertical break. That thing goes up. A little bit of arm side movement as well. Then the sinker, right? A lot of arm side movement. Instead of just going up like the four-seam fastball, you get on the side of it a little bit, and it goes off, sinker to the arm side. You see how I'm throwing it with this arm? It's going to go towards that arm side. Then the glove side, right? I would have the glove on this hand. That's the cutter. So, you get on the opposite side of it, pushes it that way. That's the basic YouTuber explanation that I can give you. Pitching coaches could give you a much different, better description, that I'm sure. And now with the cutter, that thing does not move horizontally a whole lot, but it does move 12.6 inches of rise, 0.7 inches of break. So that thing, kind of ends up at that spot, but right, it looks like it's going and then it comes back or something. Some weird movement on that. So I'm going to watch out for that cutter and that sinker playing off the four-seam fastball. Right, there's four-seam, there's the sinker, there's the cutter. As promised, four-seam, sinker, cutter. You see they're all in the four seam, sinker, cutter. Boom. Then the breaking ball is just the changeup and the slider, as well as 8% sweeper, even the slurve. So with this guy, it's just like he's got so many pitches. That has been the Mariners' kryptonite at certain points. I remember watching Seth Lugo when Emerson Hancock had 14 strikeouts. The Mariners didn't win that game. Why? It was because Seth Lugo bamboozled the team and the offense by just having way too many pitches. This game's going to start in just 3 minutes, so we're going to give our predictions. George Kirby, you guys know what I want from George Kirby, kind of. I think I have it on another tab on my computer right now. If I don't, I'll pull it up here for you guys right now because, with Kirby, it's pretty much, boom. Here's a good test with Kirby getting a ton of right-handers in Houston. Will he get the sinker in and the sweeper down and away? He's got to find a way to attack the different quadrants of the zone. You look at the strike zone, it's a big box, right? Kirby has to attack the up and in quadrant, on the righties, and then he has to get the down and away quadrant on the righties. So you look through this, back to this Houston lineup, and right here to this little zone thing. This is good stuff. This is why you're going to want to drop a like here and subscribe. Look, you look at the righties in this lineup. Those are the guys who you want to go after. So, Pena, this is a perfect candidate, right? Strikes out a ton, has a bunch of hard, has some super high expected batting average. He doesn't even have a high average exit velocity, but he's hit a lot of homers this year in not that many plate appearances. He's hitting 290. You can go after them, though. He's going to strike out when you put it there in his wheelhouse. You even go to like his zones. He's a right-handed hitter, right, from this side. So these are like that's the up and in. That's the down and away. So strikeouts by zone this year. Not that many in the up and in and the down and away, right? He's a super athletic player, super good player. Obviously, he's hitting 290 for a reason. He's got red in those. Those are like the tough zones, but I don't know. That's where Kirby should be going after him. It's like he should be challenging the talented guys on, those like winning kind of propositions. I don't know if I tied that together in the best way, but I'm hoping that you can kind of catch the drift of what I'm saying. My prediction for Kirby is going to be, an optimistic one. It's going to be what I want out of him. I want 8 strikeouts, and I want, to up the usage on the sinker and the sweeper, which doesn't show up when we look at these game previews on this thing, by the way, just in case you're wondering. And then with, Peter Lambert, Mariners obviously need to just foul off his pitches like crazy, led by Brock Rodden. Everybody else needs protection. Everybody else needs to do what they do. Josh Naylor be an early count hunter. Cal Raleigh, get deep into the count if you need to, or be an early count hunter. I don't know, figure it out. Really, it's like figure it out. Donovan, get deep, but be an early count hunter. Like, you kind of and pick each at bat based on the situation. If nobody's on base, have a deep at bat. If somebody's on base, smash anything in the zone into the outfield. That's like the, super basic approach. But yeah, and kind of pick what you're going to do when you're doing it. Don't be doing both at once, and want to know every pitch. Don't let it be too abstract. Have a real philosophy. That's not just saying soup. Jed Fish on Rich Eisen, UW football coach, which go Cougs, but I'll give credit to Jed Fish, who I've met. I even have his number on my phone. Jed Fish said on the Rich Eisen show, he said, Jim Harbaugh would say, like, you don't want to have slogan soup around, your building. And Mariners, we have control the zone, all this stuff, right? Dominate the zone, all this stuff. None of that matters, right? If you're not actually doing any of this stuff. You don't want slogan soup. No more slogan soup. Boil it down, right? Pick the right approach. Go up there with an approach. Do that approach to the best of your ability. Go sit down, and if you do it right, you excuse me, I'm still a little bit sick. You can do it. Excuse me, man. If you do it right to the best of your ability, it does not matter. And that's why we say every single day, if you go 1-0 every pitch, stay stoic, and give all glory to God, you can't lose. I'm going to keep pounding this Gatorade, having some chicken noodle soup and stuff like that. Try to get over the sickness. And man, a Mariners win in Houston to start the series, giving us a real chance, to do what we need to do, which don't get me wrong, you really need 1, 2, 3 in a row, starting with game 1, 2, 3. Game 123 starts now. I'm picking to homer Julio because he gave our boy Don Dishes the bat. Got to do that. I think Cal would need to hit one every single game of the season for the rest of the way to match the total from last year. I think we've reached that juncture, by the way. So let's pick Julio and Cal. Why not, right? Let's say that the Mariners get going because it's still time to believe. We're not quite done yet. Drop a like if you're with me on that. I'll see you guys after the game. Go M's. Oh, and by the way, final score prediction. I'm feeling like an 8-2. Peter Lambert gets shelled. Just 4 innings for him. Kirby goes, goes like 6 or 7 innings. A quality start for Kirby. Be awesome. And yeah, I'll see you guys later after the game. Go M's.